Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It was a typical Tuesday evening in the UK. The lights in the studio sparkled, the crowd murmured in anticipation, and the five mighty chasers sat perched like apex predators, ready to pounce. Bradley Walsh, ever the charming host of Beat the Chasers, strolled onto the stage with his usual swagger, a cheeky grin tugging at the corners of his mouth. But something was off. The cameras rolled. The contestant had just finished introducing herself, a librarian from Leeds with a hidden talent for beatboxing, when Bradley raised his hand. "Hold on, everyone," he said, eyebrows arched mischievously. The production crew froze. The audience fell silent. Even the chasers looked confused. "I'm sorry," he continued, facing the camera directly. "This has been on my chest for a while." The studio buzzed with tension. The director's voice crackled through Bradley's earpiece. "Bradley, stick to script." He ignored it. "You know, folks," Bradley began, pacing slowly in front of the contestants' podium, "there's a certain quiz show out there, no names, of course, that's been trying to copy what we do. Bit of drama, bit of tension, sprinkle of intellect, but it's all gone a bit soggy bottom, if you ask me." A wave of laughter rippled through the audience. Paul the Cinnamon snorted, and the governess raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "I mean," Bradley continued, warming up now, "I watched it last night. Host had the charisma of a damp sponge. Questions were about as exciting as watching paint dry, and don't even get me started on the music. They used some dramatic countdown timer that sounded like a haunted toaster." More laughter erupted. Even Mark the Beast Labbit cracked a smile. "Look," Bradley said, pretending to be serious for a moment, "I'm not saying we're perfect, but at least here, when you lose to someone who looks like they could hack into MI6 with one eyebrow raise, and when you win, well, it actually feels like you've won something." The contestant, still standing at her podium, burst into giggles. "Are we allowed to say which show you're talking about?" Bradley winked. "Let's just say it rhymes with the snail." The audience roared. Anne leaned forward, dry as ever. "You do realize we're going to trend on Twitter for this, don't you?" "Perfect," Bradley shot back. "Free publicity. Maybe they'll watch a real quiz show for once." The interruption, though spontaneous, somehow made the moment electric. The contestant looked more relaxed. The chasers looked more alive. And the audience? They were loving every second of it. Finally, Bradley turned back to the game. "Right," he said, brushing imaginary dust off his jacket. "Let's crack on. Time to win some money. And just remember, if you wanted to be bored to death, you'd be watching that other show." The crowd cheered, the lights pulsed, and the music kicked in. But somewhere, deep in a rival studio, a different quiz show host was fuming quietly into his cue cards, wondering how on earth he'd been publicly roasted on national television. And as the game resumed, and Bradley flashed another grin at the camera, you could almost hear the sound of 1,000 TV remotes switching channels. To beat the chasers, of course, because no one throws shade quite like Bradley Walsh, especially when the spotlight is his to steal.